Mounting questions about when the tornado alert system gets used, as some suggest a widespread warning allows for more panic than warranted. Good afternoon. This is CTV News at 5. I'm Stefan. A day after a tornado warning was issued for multiple parts of the capital and eastern Ontario, there are questions about how and when the alert system is used. This, even though a possible tornado did touch down in a small Quebec community about an hour and a half from Ottawa. CTV's Austin Lee joins us now with more. Austin.
Well, Stefan, one storm chaser I spoke with today says the warning system, especially for tornadoes, is flawed. His main concern, a boy who cried wolf type situation where people are sent so many warnings that don't apply to them, to the point they stop taking those warnings seriously. Now, the warning yesterday stretched across the entire city of Ottawa as well as the United Counties of Prescott and Russell. No tornado ended up forming in our region, and the real risk was really around Vars, where late yesterday afternoon there was the potential for a tornado. Storm chaser Connor Mockett suggests adopting a similar approach to what's used in the United States, where warnings only go to those in the narrow path where a tornado could touch down.
If you're issuing warning boxes that big, a large majority of that warning box has nothing to worry about. And that's when people start, disregarding the warnings. Your phone starts screaming at you, and you just look at it, you press OK, and you put it down, and you can go about your day. It shouldn't be that way.
No one from Environment Canada or Alert Ready, that's Canada's emergency alerting system, could explain why so many people were warned yesterday. But there is strong evidence a tornado likely touched down in Harrington, Quebec. That's about 120 kilometers northeast of downtown Ottawa. As for the suspected tornado near Harrington, Quebec, there are fortunately no injuries reported at this time. There are, however, multiple reports of downed trees, power lines, as well as a small house that is believed to have been seriously damaged. Stefan.
All right, wishing them the best. CTV's Austin Lee reporting live for us. Thank you, Austin. In developing news, all 13 of Canada's provincial and territorial premiers are gathering in Charlottetown for an annual summit. It comes against the backdrop of the new tariff threat from U.S. President Donald Trump. On Monday, the president threatened to impose a 50% tariff on a number of Canadian goods, including alcohol, cement, dairy products, and hockey sticks. The new tariffs were sparked in part by provincial bans on U.S. alcohol. 9 of the 13 provinces, including Ontario, have agreed to remove interprovincial barriers to alcohol sales. Under the agreement, provincial rules will change to allow Canadian producers to sell alcoholic products directly to consumers regardless of jurisdiction. The premiers of Quebec and the 3 territories have not signed on to the agreement just yet. And the interprovincial liquor deal will impact local suppliers and consumers. Let's go live now to CTV's Tyler Fleming with more on that. Tyler.
Yeah, Stefan, for small craft producers, this move can be a game changer, giving them access to customers they may not have been able to reach before. For years, if you found a Canadian beer or spirit you loved while traveling, getting it back home wasn't always easy. Now, at a time when Canada is focusing on growing trade within its own borders, for Canadians, the new agreement means having the ability to access locally made beers, wine, and spirits from other provinces with just a few clicks, and it's delivered right to your doorstep rather than being limited to what's on the shelves at the stores.
It's kind of one of those rising tide situations, right, where our industry then grows, and we have an identity on the national stage.
If you have fans that could be visiting and then they go back to where they're from, now they can go ahead and get it, right?
Now they can actually create that link to the consumer and actually fulfill an order to them and, get their products across the country without being tied to have a general listing in one of our government-regulated liquor stores.
The agreement includes 9 provinces, including Ontario, Alberta, Saskatchewan, and the Atlantic provinces. Quebec is not included. British Columbia is. Now, while the agreement is in place, the rollout may take some time, depending on when the provinces put their rules and regulations in place. For instance, British Columbia says it won't be ready until next year. Stefan.
All right, CTV's Tyler Fleming with the update on that for us. Thank you, Tyler. And as the cleanup continues after the massive Canada Day storm, more help is on the way for homeowners, particularly those most vulnerable. the city is partnering with Matthew House and Habitat for Humanity to help flood victims replace lost furniture. It comes as many seniors struggle to clean out basements full of mold, and with more than 6,500 reports of flooded basements, the city says it will be connecting with residents through wellness checks and service requests.
I think the city's understanding of the need is still growing. So many people that would be underinsured or uninsured, folks that in order to be able to replace the furniture that they've lost would be an enormous investment for them. And so we're able to provide that for them instead.
Matthew House is currently accepting furniture donations to help with the initiative. More details can be found on our website, ctvnewsottawa.ca. In the meantime, Ontario's Ministry of Natural Resources says at least 173 wildfires are burning in the province's north. Most of the fires started in the past 10 days. They have forced more than 1,800 people from their homes, with 12 of the 13 evacuated communities being First Nations. Yesterday, First Nations leaders called for a public inquiry into Ontario's wildfire response, accusing the province of leaving communities to fend for themselves. Premier Doug Ford has insisted his government has done everything it can to respond to the wildfires. Ottawa police are investigating a reported home invasion in the Manotick Estates area. Police say Sunday between 10 and 11 a.m., 4 men and 1 female suspect entered a home in the area of Dunblane Way and Cabral Place. The suspects were dressed as construction workers. Police did not provide any further details about what happened. Anyone who witnessed suspicious activity in the area or has doorbell or dash cam video from the time of the incident is asked to contact Ottawa Police. Ottawa paramedics say 2 people were injured at a downtown construction site this morning when a garbage bin fell off a forklift. It happened at around 8:20 a.m. in the area of Argyle Avenue and Metcalfe Street. A garbage bin fell from a forklift, striking 2 people, one in their 30s and another in their 50s. Both were taken to the hospital in serious but stable condition. The Ontario Ministry of Labour is now investigating. Coming up, amid the latest tariff turmoil, Canada backs out of joint ceremony with the U.S., marking the highly anticipated opening of a cross-border bridge. And our Jackie Paris is joining us in studio with our first look at the forecast. Jackie.
Well, thanks so much, Stefan. Now, we did have a gray, cloudy day today. There were peaks of sunshine moving in, but don't let that fool you. We did see light rain moving through the region for most of our afternoon. Now, right now, temperatures are quite cool, 18 degrees, and really throughout eastern Ontario, 19, 20, feeling more like fall weather than what we have seen for the last several weeks. Now, tonight, it's going to be quite cool. 11 degrees is our overnight low, and yes, there is a chance that we could see some showers close to the midnight hour, but tomorrow it will be a much clearer day. But tomorrow the daytime high will be 24 degrees. Closer look at your forecast for the weekend and more in just a bit.
Thank you, Jackie. Here's what you need to know. Check out more than 35 vendors tomorrow at the Orleans Farmers Market. There's fresh seasonal produce, baked goods, crafts, and more. The market takes place in the Raphael Recreation Complex parking lot from 11 in the morning until 4 in the afternoon. Now for a live check on traffic. The 417 westbound is slow going from Bronson all the way out to Moody past Bayshore. Eastbound is backed up from Woodruff to Bronson, and then again from St. Laurent to Innis. The 174 eastbound out to Orleans has moderate to heavy traffic volume from the split to Montreal Road. You're watching CTV News at 5. Welcome back to CTV News at 5. As tensions over tariffs ramp up, Canadian officials now say Canada will no longer celebrate the opening of the Gordie Howe Bridge with the United States. Instead, a Canada-only celebration is set to take place this Friday. And CFRA's Christy Cameron is here now to help us go off script. Christy.
What strange times we live in. Normal times, you'd have both sides, officials from Canada and the U.S., meeting in the middle of this bridge. It's sort of a symbol of our trade relationship and, of course, our close geography as well. A bridge that connects our two countries. But now, in this trade spat, given the state of affairs, Stefan, I don't blame them for canceling the joint celebration. I mean, like, how awkward would that be, having everyone stand there with fake smiles plastered to their face? This latest trade threat from Trump has really killed the party vibe. And after decades of negotiation and getting this bridge open, I support Canada in having a Canada-only ribbon cutting. I also chatted with the mayor of Windsor, Ontario, Drew Dilkins, earlier today. Here's a snippet from that.
It's regretful that we are where we are at this particular point in what is otherwise a strong and robust trading relationship. But we have a partner who is, who acts in an unstable way, who thrives on uncertainty, and, certainly is not very respectful or doesn't really care too much about any agreements that have already been signed.
Now, I find the mayor of Windsor, because I've had the opportunity to speak to him directly and interview him, very reasonable and rational, as well as having very strong sentiments. Is there anything else from that exchange that you had with him that you can share with us?
I mean, just the angst, the anxiety, but also the pride that they've been able to get this bridge open. I've been speaking with a lot of Canadian companies today, this week as well, and I had Collective Arts Brewing Company from Hamilton, Ontario, so not Windsor, but Hamilton, on the show today. They were also talking about what a roller coaster that this has been, because 20% of their business is to the United States. So it doesn't really matter who you're talking to right now, somebody who's in the brewing business, somebody who's in the clothing business, we can feel it. 28 days here, we're ticking down. See what happens.
Very similar sentiments right across the country. Thank you for this, Christy. You can join the conversation and leave a comment through the Talkback feature on the iHeartRadio app. You can listen live to Christy Cameron on News Talk 580 CFRA weekdays from 2 to 6. And now watch Christy's segments on YouTube. Subscribe to the News Talk 580 CFRA channel. To Montreal now, where doctors were able to successfully complete an extremely risky surgery. They operated on a woman's brain while she was pregnant. CTV's Sweet Arasi has these details.
Before and then after.
These brain scans of Zupa Nakayisimatego are a reminder just how quickly life can change. It all began January of 2025. She was working out at the gym when she felt a sudden pop in her head.
I was very dizzy. I couldn't see properly.
She was in severe pain. Her husband took her to the hospital, where she found out she had suffered a stroke, which caused bleeding in her brain. Dr. Marie-Christine Brunet at the Montreal Neurological Institute says her condition was rare.
The incidence is about 1 or 2 per 100,000 population.
Nakayisimatego needed surgery, but there was also something else. She was nearly 6 months pregnant. Doctors gave her the option to wait until after she gave birth, but if left untreated, it could lead to a coma or even death. So she decided to go ahead with the surgery.
I had a feeling that my baby would be okay.
Call it a mother's intuition, because she was right. After a 10-hour surgery, Nakayisimatego recovered well, and months later, she gave birth to a baby girl. Dr. Brunet says it took a lot of doctors to pull it off, including specialists from the Montreal Children's Hospital.
And they were here on a standby just in case something would happen and we would have to deliver the baby prematurely.
Operating on a pregnant patient is not something Dr. Brunet does often. But for Nakayisimatego, there's no doubt she had the right doctor on her side.
She did this incredible thing and she saved 2 lives.
And after a scary start for both mom and baby, they now have the most important gift anyone could ask for: their health. Sweet Arasi, CTV News.
Also coming up on CTV News at 5, supporting veterans one burger at a time. A local restaurant launches a new menu item with a special lunch for dozens of veterans here in the capital. Here's what else you need to know. The Almont Craft Beer Fest is taking place this Friday on Bridge Street in Mississippi Mills. Sip local craft beer and spirits while listening to live music. It runs from 6:30 p.m. until 10:30 p.m. Tickets are required. This is a 19+ event. We'll be right back. Coming up tonight on CTV after the 6 o'clock news, you can start watching E-Talk right at 7 p.m. The Big Bang Theory at 7:30. MasterChef is on at 8, The Rainmaker at 9, and The Borderline at 10. Now for another check on the weather, Jackie is joining us live in studio tonight. Jackie.
Well, thanks so much, Stefan. Now, again, we have seen some light showers move through this afternoon. There seems to be a break in their downtown core. Here's a live look. There are Centennial Glass Sky Cam. Still gray outside. Peaks of sunshine, though. That's the good news. And the wind gusts are still continuing. The good news is, though, is that the wind is going to subside later this evening. There is still a chance of showers that we could see up until the midnight hour. Now, a closer look at what we can expect. So cloudy skies at 7 p.m. Around 7 a.m. tomorrow morning, we'll see much more sunlight than we have seen today. By the time the afternoon rolls around, it'll be mainly sunny skies. So this is the good news, and it will continue into our Friday. Temperature-wise, though, it is still quite cool. You will need and want a jacket for tomorrow morning when you're heading out the door at 7 a.m. We are starting off at 12 degrees. And yes, we've got some southerly winds moving in. It'll warm up to about 25 degrees. It will feel closer to about 28, but we are anticipating much cooler conditions than what we have seen for the last several days. The good news is, though, those summer-like conditions will be returning in the next couple of days. Now, in the valley, at 9 degrees is the overnight low. Chance of showers continuing until the midnight hour. 24 and sunshine for tomorrow's daytime high. Similar conditions when we look to the Seaway. 12 degrees, partly cloudy skies for our overnight. 24 is the anticipated daytime high. Again, lots of sunshine in store for our Thursday. This will extend into our Friday as well, where temperatures are getting to a daytime high of 27 degrees. Saturday, also sunny, 28 the daytime high. We could see the return of showers for Sunday and Monday, but the temperatures still will remain above the high 20s.
Today on Simply Ottawa, we're highlighting an East End restaurant that has created a burger in support of veterans. Bite Burger House was at Veterans House in Ottawa today, providing a free lunch to 40-plus veterans. Today was the launch of the restaurant's new burger, the Veteran Burger, topped with cheese, bacon, caramelized onions, pickles, lettuce, and a maple aioli. $2 from every Veteran Burger sold will be donated to Veterans House Canada.
Every dollar counts. And I know, like I've told people, today's inflation and the way things are with the economy, things are tough. So if you've got a choice to go out for dinner and you can make a donation at the same time and enjoying a great burger, it works.
Your feel-good moment for sure. The Veteran Burger at Bite Burger House in Orleans will be available on the menu come August. Veterans House Canada provides homeless veterans with housing, employment, and mental health services. It is estimated there are about 5,000 homeless veterans in this country. And we want to hear your stories of people doing good, spreading joy, making a difference, or marking a notable achievement. We'll be showcasing stories that touch our hearts and make us proud of the city we live in, Simply Ottawa. You can send your story ideas to ottawanews@ctv.ca. Coming up on CTV News at 5, a rare transmissible cancer has been found in freshwater fish in Quebec. And here's what you need to know. The popular Cars and Coffee event is happening this Saturday at Lansdowne Park. Check out a lineup of more than 50 classic and exotic vehicles. Entry is free. The event runs from 10 a.m. until 3 p.m. A live check on traffic right now. We know that things are moving well in both directions at Riverside, but if you are headed westbound, things are slow going from Bronson to Moody this hour. Eastbound is backed up from Greenbank to Bronson, and then again from St. Laurent to Ennis. 174 eastbound moderate to heavy from the split Montreal Road, and the 416 southbound is slow from Bankfield to Roger Stevens Drive. You're watching CTV News at 5.
Get the latest live local breaking news. Sign up now for our morning and evening CTV News Ottawa newsletter. The best local content from CTV News, Your Morning Ottawa, and News Talk 580 CFRA. Get it all in one place. Sign up now at ctvnewsottawa.ca. The CTV News Ottawa newsletter is brought to you in part by CAA Business.
Here's another live look through our Centennial Glass Sky Cam. The temperature right now, 17 degrees. And it's time now for a look ahead to CTV News at 6. Here's Patricia Bull.
Thanks, Steph. Here's what we're working on for 6 o'clock.
Folks that, in order to be able to replace the furniture that they've lost, would be an enormous investment for them. And so we're able to provide that for them instead.
As flood cleanup continues, the city is partnering with 2 local organizations to help residents replace furniture destroyed when their basements flooded.
Our industry then grows, and we have an identity on the national stage.
As 9 premiers announced they're removing barriers to interprovincial alcohol sales, we take a closer look at how that agreement could impact local suppliers and consumers.
Your phone starts screaming at you, and you just look at it, you press OK, and you put it down, and you can go about your day. It shouldn't be that way.
Well, many of us received one of these, a tornado warning to our phones yesterday, alerting people to take immediate cover and shelter from flying debris. No tornado ended up touching down here, spurring some to call for more accurate weather alerts. All of that and more is coming up tonight on CTV News at 6. That's right after the early edition of CTV National News with Sandy Ronaldo at 5:30. Steph.
Thank you, Patricia. Now the final 5 other stories we're following today. A transmissible skin cancer has been found in freshwater fish in parts of Quebec and the U.S. A new study found mysterious black skin lesions on bullhead catfish linked to melanoma, an aggressive form of skin cancer. Researchers at the University of Vermont say the disease can't infect other species and there is no known risk to humans. It's only the 4th form of transmissible cancer ever documented in the wild. A new set of graphic health warnings is coming to cigarette packages across Canada. The new designs feature images highlighting the proven health impacts of smoking, both on smokers and those around them. The Canadian Cancer Society says the warnings have been shown to reduce smoking since they debuted in 2001, and rotating to a new set keeps them from becoming stale. For the first time in 4 years, the popular Ottawa River pathway behind Parliament Hill is open to pedestrians and cyclists. The scenic area is located between the Portage Bridge and the downtown Ottawa locks. The National Capital Commission says it has now finished major rehabilitation work on the pathway that has been underway since 2022. The Canadian men's soccer team will return from its run at the World Cup with a couple of matches this fall. The Canadians will host Chile in Toronto on September 26th and Peru in Montreal on October 3rd. The match in Toronto will mark Canada's return to BMO Field after earning its first ever World Cup point and a 1-1 draw with Bosnia and Herzegovina on June 9th. Dozens of people came out to the lawn in front of Parliament Hill this afternoon for a summer tradition here in the capital. Every Wednesday at noon, you can bring a mat to Parliament Hill and take part in an outdoor yoga session. It's guided by instructors from Elevate Yoga Studio. The event is free and open to everyone. That is CTV News at 5. I'm Stefan Keys. Be sure to join Patricia Bull for CTV News at 6. The early edition of National starts now. Thanks for watching.